'82, I was 17, my old man was 55. If you do the math between the two of us, that's 72 years of life. An eternity, so it seemed to me. How could anything live that long? Now I say my folks were only 84 the year that they passed on. For a little while it seems you got time to choose your dreams. Pretty soon you look around and you see 100 years ain't what it used to be. And my grandpa Roy, when he was a boy in 1904, he was taught by men who fought in the actual Civil War. And only 8 decades passed and my high school class put the tassels on the other side. Started on our way full of naivete on the great American ride. The months and years slide past, each more quickly than the last. Pretty soon you look around and you'll see 100 years ain't what it used to be. Oh, got it!
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Johnny Heidt. Oh, yeah.
Did the guitar face.
Ibuprofen's under buy again in my online shopping cart. Every week I learn of something else I should be doing for my heart. If I use the wrong pillow, I might have trouble getting out of bed. My hair grows in my ears and nose now more than on my head. As a kid, to me, ancient history was something like World War I. But I arrived close to that time than this year as I sing this song. And I'm starting to find I can wrap my mind around life is brief and dear. I can hardly believe my baby girl's turned 26 this year. For a little while it seems you got time to choose your dreams. Pretty soon you look around and you'll see everybody 100 years ain't what it used to be. Before you know it, you're 63, making plans for Medicare A and B. You look around yourself and you see 100 years ain't what it used to be.
Are rolling.
Josh Arnold, investment consultant, brings you Garage Logic podcast number 1793, June 8, 2026, 102 degrees on this day in 1985. And exactly 100 years previously, it was 36 degrees on this day in 1885. That's 100 years, right? 1985 to 18.
100 years ain't what it used to be.
Call Josh Arnold at 952-925-5608 for a free 48-minute consultation.
Hail the flashlight king.
And now, from the mayor's office above the boathouse on the east shore of Spoon Lake, it's Garage Logic with Chris Reavers manning Technology Corner, Kenny Olson from the Krabby Coffee Shop, John Heidt in the newsroom, and of course, the rookie. Here is your flashlight king, fireworks commissioner, and the keeper of common sense, your mayor, Joe Soucheray.
The president is going to Madison Square Garden tonight for the third game in the Knicks San Antonio series. Knicks are up 2-0.
Highly anticipated Game 3.
Well, the fans are being advised to get there 2 hours early because of security checks. The outside, apparently the new trend is for people who can't get into the game, they stand around outside having a watch party.
That's right.
Where are you on watch parties?
Nowhere.
Okay.
And that's been canceled. They will not have that.
Oh.
They're going to cancel it?
Yeah, there's going to be no watch party.
Have we had sitting presidents go to Major League?
Well, of course.
I don't ever remember.
If presidents probably aren't really upsetting the apple cart if they show up at an outside event. But
Golf
when
event or-
Madison Square Garden is right in the middle of the city, and it's indoors. And if I was the president, I wouldn't go there. I wouldn't do that.
Just because of you'd be mindful of the congestion?
What's going on there? Is the comedy Our American Cousin playing?
No, I just got done telling you it's the Knicks and the San Antonio Spurs.
Just feel that breeze over your head.
And-
But
and
one of the coolest of, I mean, I
think you got
grant
it.
that it's
I don't
different,
think you did either.
completely different circumstances. But one of the coolest moments ever was Bush throwing out the first pitch before the World Series.
Yeah, where was that? Was that outside?
Arizona,
I
wasn't
know.
it?
It was in New York.
Yeah,
New
no,
York.
I
Oh,
know.
yeah, it was in New
Yankee
York.
Stadium.
Yeah, Yankees. Yeah.
I mean, that was cool. It was iconic.
I
and I'm not
guess
gonna
I
get the
guess I
Foghorn.
didn't make myself clear enough, and I'll attempt to for your benefit. Yankee Stadium, even though it's in New York, compared to Madison Square Garden, would be the opposite of a tight environment. You're outside, and you can walk the guy through under a tunnel and come up and go out to the field and throw a pitch and then have him disappear. This time, it sounds like he'll be in some suite up there, and he's not well liked in New York. He's probably not paid anyone who's ever worked for him, and so plus the ticket prices tonight.
A little spendy.
I can't believe what I read.
I checked
What's
this
the
morning.
lowest?
The lowest this morning, I'm willing to be corrected, was $11,000.
I'm not
Oh,
doubting
geez.
you. I saw some for 40,000 at ringside.
Yeah,
No game is that
the
good.
Courtside.
the get in price this morning was $11,000.
No game is that
Well,
important.
that does not help the average fan.
It's foolish.
Anyway, that's tonight.
Anyway, the greatest throwback in history is when Bush threw out that first pitch at Yankee Stadium, and Derek Jeter said, "Don't bounce it. Throw it from the
Well, not to
mound
bounce
and
it.
don't bounce it." And then that's
Well,
when
he
President
played
Bush,
baseball in college.
I know, but when Jeter said that, Bush went into a flap sweat. Admittedly, he said, "I wasn't nervous until he said, do not bounce
Well, he
the
said,
ball."
"Don't bounce it; they'll boo you."
Yes.
A lot of times here in GL, we've talked about the third rail, which is where politicians have evolved to live. And by the third rail, we mean they're, for the most part, not always, of course, for the most part, they are not living the same American life that we are. We've let that happen. It's our fault. But by not living the same American life we are, I mean, they don't have to wait in a security line at an airport. They don't have to run to the hardware store. They don't have to take the kids to school. They have a different lifestyle that's elevated them above the hue and cry of our daily lives. And there is now a no greater example of, and once on the third rail, what that affects is the way they spend money. They spend money in ways that don't take us into account. They spend money in ways that indicate zero respect for the taxpayer, zero respect for the man and woman. Let's just leave it in Minnesota. For the men and women who pay the bills in this state, there is no respect paid to those people by the third rail. Governor, administration. Well, we don't have to go into fraud again. We've covered it pretty much, haven't we?
I think so.
But there's no greater example of that lack of respect for who we are and what we're responsible for and how we live our lives than a news story that I didn't think the Star Tribune would print, but they printed it. That breaking over the weekend was the idea that the mayor and the city council are going to hire a counselor for as much as $1.4 million of your taxpayer money. Now, sometimes it's easier to understand how we're treated when the amounts of money are understandable. At $1.4 million, we can understand. That's an amount of money we can imagine. You can put your hand on that and see it. So, as opposed to the billions of dollars stolen, that tends to get just lost in the ether. This is $1.4 million, and they're going to hire a counseling firm to help them learn to get along with each other.
Isn't that
the mayor and the city council?
money well spent in that case?
They actually started paying them back in October.
Yeah, thanks, kid.
It's
What is it, Bill?
I don't know where to begin. It's so wrong that it's a 3-year contract with the Darcy Luoma Coaching and Consulting LLC, a Wisconsin company. They couldn't even get a Minnesota company.
Got to go across the border.
Well, you got to have a neutral party.
Kenny referenced this. It began in October. They apparently, after the mayor and the council were sworn in January, they had a 2-day retreat. I guess we paid for that. That was after Renee Good was shot. They had a retreat. They resumed the exercise last week with sessions Thursday and Friday, which means those are times when they're not doing your business. Not that they ever do. They're only doing their own business. But when they're in these counseling sessions, they're not working. They're having counseling. And 10 of the 13 council members, along with Fry and the cabinet members, attended. And there is also no greater definition of adult children than this, that they would actually expect that this would be something that we'd what, agree to or acknowledge with some sort of good cheer to them, that they would do this. They're trying to reach agreements on how to behave. And
interpersonal matters.
Right.
How bad can it be that if they're not in step right now? How bad is it?
Well, pretty bad. The council and the mayor are trying to agree not to make personal attacks and not to make personal attacks or bash people in public. Councilmember Latricia Vito said both sides worked on finding common ground, setting ground rules, and airing grievances. I brought up that the mayor is not there to defend himself during most council meetings. There's a lot of mayor bashing happening, and it's unnecessary. This is Latricia. We got enough bashing from other people. Vita and Fry said Fry was extremely vulnerable about how the political bickering affects his family. She said the most moving part of the session was when newly elected council member Pearl Warren talked candidly about how difficult it has been for her to feel safe, speaking out as a new council member representing North Minneapolis. Warren said she considered the session a very brave space. Will you foghorn space?
Oh, we got a foghorn
I'm so
space.
tired of the word space. I support the bravery in the space for people to be honest and tell their truth. And Pearl Warren is probably a councilwoman I could get behind. And I
according
know I'm
to-
behind Latricia.
Yeah, according to Latricia, she's good people.
Vita and Councilmember Linnea Palmisano said similar exercises were done a few years ago, but Fry said this is the first time they've been able to agree on how they'll treat each other. Okay. The meetings are not advertised, and they're not open to the public, of course.
How
This
about
is
that?
the third rail, spending your money on themselves. And apparently that's even in conflict with the state's open meeting law, but not this time.
No, they're not talking. Supposedly, they're not talking about city business. It's just personal stuff.
I was first alerted to this by Sanibel Jim, of all people, who sent me this on Friday night, and I immediately emailed him back, and I said, this can't be real. It just can't be real. And the next day, I made an effort to find it, and it was printed on the online version of the Star Tribune. And then today, it's on the front page of the print version of the Star Tribune. It's real. It's happening, and they're spending your money to do this. And I'm not sure it will ever be successful, and let me tell you why. The ideological rift is between sanity and Marxism, and I'm not sure those two will ever find some common ground. They're anathema to each other. They're the opposite of each other. I'm not sure. As lightweight and as lefty as Fry is, he's not a socialist Marxist. And yet he is constantly having to work with socialist Marxists on the council.
Right.
And that ideological divide is so profound that I don't know that, maybe it just isn't 1.4 won't be enough. Maybe they'll have to spend 2.6
Did they leave that option open? With
to
a little
find,
asterisk?
to find different counselors who specialize in bringing people together who are sane versus the Marxist socialists. Because how are you going to come up with a shared commitment? You got nothing to share.
Right.
How about Cesar Chavez? He's got to be for this. What's his name? Jason Chavez. He said he's glad the council approved funding for this. This is great. And it was a productive session. It'll benefit the city. My hope is that we move forward on the issues we all agree on sooner than later. This young man has never said a meaningful word in his life, and he's not capable of it. They've never accomplished anything. They've never done anything. And yet I'm keeping in mind they were voted for by the people who wanted them in office. They reflect the people who voted for them. Boy, I could go off and fly in so many directions today. I'm going to take a sharp U-turn for an aside.
Okay.
The news, or what passes for it on TV in the Twin Cities, covered extensively the great sharpening of the pencil on Lake of the Isles.
Oh, good.
And you know
I
what?
missed it.
It looked fun. What the hell? What do I
Yeah.
care? It was a beautiful day. I guess the pencil, this is in a tree got carved into a pencil by some property owner over on Lake of the Isles. And remember, the Mink wanted to know if we'd relieve him from covering it, and we did. And it's a good thing. He didn't have to cover it. The news took over. And it's grown to the point where it looked like it was really well attended.
Yeah.
And people had costumes.
Oh,
you know,
really?
pencil costumes with hats that were erasers. And
Wow.
It was just really, people were really into it. It was really, really something.
Yeah.
And that answers a few questions, I think. To turn out for a pencil sharpening of a tree, that's pretty telling. I don't know what it's telling of, but it was fun. It was
It's
fun. Because
telling-
Kenny would say, I don't like to have fun. You know what? If I lived in the neighborhood, I might have gone by on my scooter.
To me, it's telling that people need relief.
Yeah.
This goes back to the book that you read from or the piece that you read from C.S. Lewis last Friday. People need relief.
Live your life well. And if that means hanging out Saturday morning and watching a pencil get sharpened, and some people were really into deep philosophical meaning of it, saying this is the way we used to communicate with a pencil. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Now I'll veer back to the topic at hand. In the meantime,
Get him back on that third rail.
in the meantime, all of you people gathered there for the pencil sharpening, you're paying for the city council and the mayor to have meetings so they don't be mean to each other. And it's fantastic. It's just great.
So they can go Rodney King, just get along.
Now let's link this. Let's link this to George Floyd Square.
Have we started working on the
Today's the day, Matt.
Okay.
Now, I don't think we have a big listenership in that neighborhood. Maybe we do. I would hope we do. I doubt we do. It used to be represented by what's his name? Her name. The trans on the city council. What was her name?
Andrea
Jenkins.
Andrea Jenkins. But I don't think she represents that area anymore, or does she still?
That was Leroy's sister.
Who represents that area?
Hold on, let me catch up. I can tell you in a second.
Yeah.
Keep going. I'll give it
Well,
to you.
as you recall, and it was well documented, not only here but in the newspapers, that it's now 6 years, right, for George Floyd? Yeah, it was 6
Soren
years.
6 years.
Stevenson
Soren
replaced
Stevenson.
Andrea Jenkins on the council.
All right,
Ward 8.
right. And it's been well documented for 6 years that more than $5 million of your money was spent by these third rail people to attempt to come up with some plan for what they called George Floyd Square, 38th in Chicago. And plan after plan went nowhere. There's no accounting for the expenditure of the money. We're just supposed to take it on their word that they hired people and they had meaningful sessions to attempt to determine what exactly should be done with this, because apparently there's a great movement that thinks this should be some sort of permanent memorial to highlight the Minneapolis crime tour business that is yet to be founded. And so they have $5 million was spent. It was. You might as well have taken it to the top of the Eiffel Tower and just thrown it away. It's unaccounted for. That was your money. Well, today they're starting, and I can't even tell you. Do we know exactly what? It's a $15 million reconstruction project. It starts today. It'll reopen streets while keeping the memorial area closed to traffic. What's that mean? A roundabout, perhaps? And in order to pay for this, or help pay for it, there's going to be a $636,000 special assessment to the neighborhood itself.
That's already been effed over.
You people already paid into the property taxes that contributed more than $5 million to meaningless studies that were conducted by these incompetent adult children to come up with something for George Floyd Square. They failed to use your money to any agreeable end. Now, apparently, they're just going ahead with it. They're going to fix the streets and the sidewalks, and that's going to cost $15 million. And the property owners near the square are being required to pay part of the bill for the streets and infrastructure through special assessments. That's criminally outrageous. They've already had their lives upended for 6 years. They've already paid their property tax bills, which contributed to the adult children blowing $5 million on studies what to do for it. And now they could never reach an agreement. So they come up with this plan. The special assessments will be based on a property square footage. It's just a shame. There's 84 properties in the immediate area that will be assessed. Why should those 84 homeowners who've already contributed to $5 million being wasted along with everybody else in the city? Now, then I suppose it becomes a question of, well, why should someone out in the Nokomis neighborhood pay for the George Floyd neighborhood? I don't have an answer to that question. But these 84 homeowners who already have had their neighborhood completely taken from them, they now have to help pay for this.
And not to mention, no matter what they were going to decide to come up with, no one's going to be happy anyway.
Property owners may pay their portion of the assessment in a single payment.
Oh, that's nice.
Before November 5, 2027, or over the 20-year period starting in 2028. The city offers a deferral option for homesteaded properties owned by individuals who are 65 years of age or older, or who are retired due to permanent and total disability. I don't know what to tell you, ladies and gentlemen. The general environment of the Twin Cities over the weekend was upbeat. There was this Prince celebration in downtown Minneapolis, a great sing-along, and people seemed to enjoy themselves.
A lot of people from out of town.
And you had Grand Old Days in St. Paul, which seemed to be once again a big hit. Mm-hmm. You had the pencil sharpening over on Lake of the Isles, and it was beautiful, beautiful weekend, and people were outside and enjoying these various events. And there's a great dichotomy between that environment and what the ruling class is doing to us. It just amazes me. But then I don't know what I mean by that. The pencil sharpening people weren't supposed to turn it into a protest. The people at George Floyd Square, the 84 homeowners, are virtually helpless. What are they going to do? Well, who are they going to complain to? Their city council person who would be in favor of this, right. The preceding city council person who represented them who was in favor of this. What are they going to do? And so the third rail escapes unscathed. They just keep living this life and spending our money, and it has nothing to do with anything except them. So here's a 38th in Chicago, which is just a dystopian intersection. It's just a mess. There's nothing beautiful about it. The $5 million spent over the 6 years contributed to nothing handsome, nothing neat, nothing organized.
So that's the first part of the project, is addressing everything you just brought up there this year, reconstructing the streets and the sidewalks. That's the goal for this year. Then next year is and getting the buses going and getting the bicycles going, and then all that. And
I don't know why that, Kenny. I don't know why that should cost $15 million.
I was wondering how. This is going to go against probably what you were saying, but I was wondering as you were talking there, how this would play if you took George Floyd out of the picture. George Floyd didn't happen. That deal at the memorial in the middle of the street, 38th in Chicago, isn't there, and they were going to. Would they be spending the same amount of money, and would the residents be mad about it? That's what was going through my mind. I don't know. I don't have an answer.
No, and the answer is no. They would not be.
Okay. But you're right. It's an eyesore. And it was, to be honest with you, it's been an eyesore for 20 years. Yeah, that part of town has always been a hellhole. Whenever I go through that intersection, I'm more than happy to run a yellow or just sit there and mind my own business if I'm stopped in
It's
traffic.
A corner that evokes that wonderful phrase, malignant idleness.
It's, or if you grew up with my mom, lock your doors, kids. Yeah. It's one of those deals. I wasn't at that point, but yeah. It needed cleaning.
You know, while you were enjoying the pencil sharpening, I was doing a lot of garage work. I was cleaning the garage, and I'm a little embarrassed by the floor. I have the first generation epoxy floor. Installed Business Solutions puts together the current technology, polyurea garage floor that are built to handle salt, snow, spills, daily wear. They don't fade. They don't crack. They can do most floors installed in just one day. You can get your garage back fast, and that baby will be easy to clean and easy to maintain. And if you're having one put in, and we live here, well, we live here, they got the non-skid texture you can add to that baby.
Let's go.
Oh, man, you aren't going to fall down in the winter. And right now, $500 off their concrete coating project. You got to book the service between now and the end of June. Now, there's a promo code. Does that mean you go to ibscoating.com and there's a code? Because I got a bunch of new material on
That's
them.
right.
And just use the code name MAYOR. And that'll set you up for all kinds of neat things. Read all the lines of print in there and figure it out. I'm looking at the video now. Look at this stuff. It's gorgeous. It's better than the original stuff. Mine's 18 years old, and man, it shows the wear.
The neat thing,
This
too, is
stuff
the
lasts.
back patio that they just did. That looks really, really cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's ibscoating.com. Installed building solutions. ibscoating.com.
Cannot stop him. He'll just make a move. Joe Souchere.
Is it Friday yet?
No, Kenny, it's not.
From your little trimmer to your giant diesel pusher, Seafoam motor treatment is going to keep those cylinders, carbs, injectors, ports, passageways, keep them all clean and happy when we add it to the gas tank. Now, we're talking an additive, though, with multiple personalities. When you add Seafoam motor treatment to the crankcase, that's where you put the oil in, Matthew.
Yep.
It's going to help shake loose those crusty deposits that build up over time, and they'll be flushed away when you do your next oil change. That is, if you do your next oil change, Matthew.
Yep.
Gas, diesel, one longer, 12 makes no difference to Seafoam. It's been working its magic for many decades. Seafoam has a long proven history of helping cylinders stay happy for nigh on 90 years. And if you're one of those negative know-it-all mansplainers that call it snake oil, it's a snake oil that works. A wonderful product in a world of bad gas, Seafoam.
Continuing along these lines, seemingly a theme is developed. Available now to the public is the socialist agenda wished for by the Democratic Socialists of Minneapolis. I got my version printed from the Minneapolis Times today. It's an in-depth guide to the local Democratic Socialist movement's newly codified demands. These are their demands. To provide voters with complete transparency ahead of the 2026 midterm elections, the Minneapolis Times is publishing the official policy platform of the Twin Cities Democratic Socialists of America. And it's quite a hefty piece when you print it out. I will not burden you with reading the whole thing. But it's a foundational shift away from traditional capitalism and establishment politics. In other words, it's the opposite of GL. It's just the opposite of garage logic. And it leans towards the systemic state and municipal restructuring. It calls for, it's the mystery.
Right.
It calls for a country that is completely different from the United States as we know it.
Right.
Are you with me so far?
Yeah.
For example, sovereignty and decolonization, nullifying the 1851 Treaty of Traverse des Sioux, dissolving Fort Snelling and transferring large public-private land holdings back to First Nations. So, you can say this about them. They put their money where their mouth is. A lot of these euphorians, they like to get up on the stump and say, we're on stolen land. Well, these people would give it back.
Yeah, but don't give mine back, the euphorians would say.
They want a $20 an hour minimum wage. They want a 32-hour work week with no loss in play. They want to municipalize Xcel Energy and Centerpoint Energy without corporate compensation. They just want to take it over. So the state would run it. They would dissolve all independent bodies like the Park and Rec Board, and it would just be a central authority under them.
Yes, the central authority.
But I mean, I can jump around here. Read
Any
you just
jumpsuits, broom
some
factories?
Decolonize the settler state of Minnesota. The settler state of Minnesota is to be frowned upon. We maintain the rightful sovereignty of this land to those indigenous tribes and nations that the occupation state of Minnesota currently administers. We demand the settler state of Minnesota recognize the illegality of the 1851 Traverse des Sioux Treaty and recognize the Dakota sovereignty over said stolen land and the full reinstatement of treaty rights of the First Nations. Okay, if they pull that off, you don't need the Democratic Socialists. What role do they have at that point? They want to go back to about 1800 when it was just land here and natives. That's fine. What role have they reserved for themselves, I wonder?
Oh, well, the way I read this is everything. I don't know how familiar you are with that treaty, but it gave up it took most of western Minnesota, everything west of the Mississippi. So if they're going to dissolve that, that means the only part of Minnesota that these commies will run would be on the east of the Mississippi, correct? east and north of the Mississippi.
Yeah.
Because everything west of the Mississippi is going back to the Dakota.
They want to eliminate or tear down Fort Snelling and return the land to Dakota nations.
Be a good spot for a casino.
I'm just jumping around here. They're all wonderful. Free health care, of course. Free education.
The money, I don't know if they ever got paid the money, but I know they were promised well over $1 million. I don't believe that was all paid out, so you're going to owe them some money, too.
We want queer liberation. Minnesota should have a status as a sanctuary for trans and queer internal refugees. All right.
What does
And to protect
that
children and adults' rights to gender-affirming care. All right. They want social feminism. Do you know what social feminism is?
I don't know what that is.
I'm afraid
That ends patriarchal oppression and domestic violence. Well, wouldn't it be great if you could end domestic
I'm
violence
pro.
just by creating it on paper?
I'm pro that.
it's over.
It's over. There's no more. Oh, sorry,
more
you can't do that anymore. Oh, okay. Implement full parental leave and expand and redistribute community care work equally across all genders. Okay. What'll this be? We will halt the fascist and imperial war machine. There's no more ICE. Palestine's free.
How are you going to do that?
No more war economy. You can't have anything to do with fighting, I guess. End any and all support for and divest from companies in Minnesota engaged in weapons development. I don't. They got to have all free housing. No, there's rent control. There's tenant union organizing. There's public housing that's paid for. That's so free housing. No more fossil fuels. We're going to tear down Highway 94, and that's going to become a public transit corridor, and that land will be returned to Twin Cities communities to build community-controlled and publicly owned housing, commercial establishments, and parks. Why would there be commercial establishments? We're not going to have any money to spend any money on anything, so why would you have it?
This is hilarious.
And you'll wonder why they need, or they think they need, I don't think they need, they're bringing in a counselor to try and create a means by which these people and a somewhat sane mayor can reach common ground. That's not possible.
I mean, just take one of the many things you just read. 94. Take that 94.
Yeah.
How does a serious human being with a mortgage and kids and a job and you want to save money for retirement, how do you dream that bullshit up and think that's going to fly?
And they're making inroads. They're successful in getting elected to the city council.
That's the frightening part.
What? There's at least 5, right, in the Minneapolis City Council, if not more. Chugtai, Wansley,
Chowdy.
Chowdhury,
Chavez, Sorenstein also is.
Sorensen.
Is that his name, Sorensen?
Yeah. No, Soren Stevenson.
I'm
Bruce
sorry,
Stevenson.
Stevenson.
There we
Yeah,
go.
the Rounda. Yeah.
Well, let me read you this part. The author, the fellow who provided this for us is David Tingham, Minneapolis Times. I don't know anything about him. For all I know, he thinks this is wonderful or he doesn't think it's wonderful. I have no idea. But he concludes by saying, ultimately, the Twin Cities Democratic Socialists of America platform represents more than a mere legislative list. It functions as an ideological compass and a strict litmus test for the region's progressive movement. While sweeping, what did I tell you before? The only way to win in Minneapolis is come out as a Democratic Socialist, even far more crazy than this, get elected, and then go, I was a GLer.
Now they'd be, just pull that mask off and.
it functions as an ideological compass and strict litmus test for the region's progressive movement. It's not progressive. It's backwards. While sweeping structural changes such as dismantling a historic fort or shifting Minnesota to a unicameral legislature face steep constitutional and political roadblocks in the immediate future, the platform effectively shifts the Overton window of local politics by codifying.
Wait. What does that mean?
Look that up, Rook.
I don't understand.
One
that.
word, Overton. Overton. I've heard of it. I'm not sure I know what it means. The Overton window. It shifts the Overton window of local politics. By codifying these uncompromised demands, the organization demands a clear benchmark against it, which will be in which it will hold both its endorsed incumbents and mainstream DFLers accountable. How are you going to handle this, Amy?
The Overton window is a range of policy ideas and social concepts deemed acceptable to the mainstream public at any given time. Named after political scientist Joseph Overton, the model suggests politicians can only successfully advocate for ideas that fall within this window of discourse without risking their electability.
So you get that? Can we get away with this? Basically, is what the Overton window is.
No, what it means is it says they shift the Overton window, meaning it sounds to me like their task is to get all of us to buy this BS.
Correct, right. But that's what the Overton window is.
They have a new Overton window.
Right.
It's not static. It shifts, shrinks, and expands at societal values, technology, and cultural norms.
Well,
evolving.
I would say the Overton window in Minneapolis has shifted.
Yeah.
They're getting elected.
Do you think they know what they're electing, these voters? Do you think any of them have really studied socialism?
No.
No.
China and North Korea?
As the 2026 midterms approach, the friction between this uncompromising socialist blueprint and the pragmatic realities of a closely divided state legislature will likely define the state's primary season. Voters will not see these demands presented under a separate socialist ballot line this November, but they will undoubtedly feel their impact in the policy debates, primary challenges, and ideological tug-of-war shaping the future of the Minnesota DFL. Whether this platform succeeds in pulling the state's ruling party further to the left or deepens the fractures within the progressive coalition remains one of the central questions of the 2026 election cycle. So that's very well stated. When you go to the polling place, the nearest polling place is 38th in Chicago in November, and you're going to go in there and fill out your ballot, you're not going to get alongside Soren Stevenson's name a list of these demands that he expects to be working on behalf of. You're just going to get his name and his opponent's name, and people are going to go to and they're going to maybe not take into account the $5 million these morons have already spent planning George Floyd Square, but now they're being asked for another taste to hit it up and fix the sidewalks in the streets. It's just they're.
Do you mean these council members that have been vetted in business their whole life?
They've never done a thing. You know, the closer you get to the country's tallest buildings, this is what voters are facing. You can't tell me that Seattle's any different.
Well, look at what's happening in L.A. right now.
Yeah, well, and Seattle has this poorly educated, underachieving young woman who has her parents pay her bills, and she's bent on bringing this about. Boy, GL was onto this a long time ago with the word mystery.
Yeah.
We had no idea, did we? We had no idea it was this vile.
I'm glad I gave it to you.
Yeah, I'm sure you are.
It's not a mystery anymore, is it?
It's no longer a mystery. While you still got a job to go to, get to Rosedale Chevrolet and get a truck that's suitable for your work needs, because Rosedale Chevrolet, County Road C and 35 in Roseville, is a business elite dealer, which means they have the stock, the ready-to-go inventory of every imaginable truck you need, from pickups to dump boxes to extended cabs. You name it, they've got it. And they have the largest selection. And the guys there have a combined 75 years of experience in selling trucks, and they sell trucks better than any other dealer in town because they have the trucks. You don't wait. You'll go in there today and you need a stake truck, you got it. You need a cargo van, you got it. You need pickup trucks in any size, you got it at Rosedale Chevrolet. These guys really, really know their trucks. And that business elite dealer designation is important because that guarantees you this magnificent inventory of new Chevrolet trucks. RosedaleChev.com.
Reavers.
The Earth is not your mother. The Joe Souchere Show.
How about this? Larry and Damon and the entire Harmony Spirits crew want to thank all of you GLers that have placed your online order at harmonyspirits.net. Yes, that's right. You heard me correctly. The official distillery of Garage Logic is now available for purchase online. Just head to harmonyspirits.net, click Buy Online, and have your favorites shipped right to your front door. It's never been easier to stock up on your go-to bottles. You can now get Harmony Spirits 3 different ways. Visit the tap room, obviously in Harmony, Minnesota, and a lot of you did. I saw your posts on social media over the weekend. You can also go to your local liquor store, ask for the Harmony brand by name, or order online from anywhere with just a few clicks. Whether you're getting ready for the weekend, building out your home bar, or looking for a unique gift, Harmony Spirits has got you covered. From smooth sips to shareable favorites, there's something for every occasion. The vodka, the gin, the whiskey, the rum, the bourbon, it's all there for you. Just go to harmonyspirits.net and enjoy it wherever you'd like, and also continue to go into that that tap room down there in Harmony, Minnesota. We got a beautiful stretch of weather ahead. harmonyspirits.net. Let them know you heard about them right here on the Garage Logic Podcast.
Here is John Heidt.
Thank you, Joe. This news is brought to you by North American Banking Company. The U.S. House Oversight Committee, in a report issued today accusing Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Attorney General Keith Ellison of, quote, one of the most stunning oversight failures regarding the handling of taxpayer fraud in federally funded social programs. The report says the state agencies had the power to suspend or stop payments without waiting for direction from courts, law enforcement, or the federal government, and said senior state officials knew of the systemic fraud as early as 2019. The report estimates that $300 million in federal child nutrition funds were lost to fraud. Furthermore, it claims that potentially $9 billion in Medicaid-related funds were either lost or placed at what they called serious risk due to state oversight failures. According to the report, the Walz administration retaliated against state employees who tried to blow the whistle on the vulnerabilities of the program, while senior leaders prioritized managing political and media fallout over addressing the core issues.
Hi. So for those of us that are tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorists,
Sure.
how can you hear that and not draw any other conclusion of the fact that they're all in on this?
I don't know. There's a pencil sharpening I got to get to.
See? And that's the modern Minnesota taxpayer right there.
Mm-hmm.
A DOJ spokesperson said the death penalty is completely off the table in the case against Vance Belter, the suspect charged in the murder of former Minnesota Speaker Emerita Melissa Hortman and her husband, regardless of whether he pleads guilty to all state and federal charges. Earlier reporting had come that said plea deal negotiations were underway between federal prosecutors and attorneys for Belter. However, the DOJ spokesperson said that's false, and that person, if they leaked it, should be fired. The DOJ said that because of Supreme Court case law, a crime of violence has a narrow definition, and because you can stalk someone without violence, it probably doesn't meet that definition. They added that a court had rejected that argument in a case earlier this year. University of Minnesota will meet this week to talk about the sale of the 140-acre Les Bolstad golf course for over $30 million. That course on the St. Paul campus dates back nearly a century, is expected to be converted into a housing development. The city of Falcon Heights, where the golf course sits, supports the sale. A final vote by the University of Minnesota could happen at the end of the month.
I think that's a shame. With the popularity of golf in this state, in the metro area, why not keep it as a golf course?
Are we being told everything, though? I mean, why did this all of a sudden come out of the blue?
Because they say they can't afford to keep it up.
There's two golf courses there. Which one is this?
U of M course.
This is the one just off of 280.
There's Energy Farm, just right across from the.
No, you're looking. There's Midland Hills would be immediately north
okay.
of it.
All right, now
and
I'm
then
with
there's
you.
the U of M course.
Yeah. All right.
53rd year of the Grand Old Day celebration, according to organizers, drew 200,000 people to St. Paul. They said the focus was bringing economic support back to the Grand Avenue Business District. The festival included food, fitness, and a wide variety of activities. Elizabeth Emerson George said 100% of the proceeds from Grand Old Days go to support our business operations. George said recent investment has helped the Grand Avenue area recover, including a $40 million mixed-use development project on Victoria Street. She said Grand Old Day has helped put the area back on track.
Johnny, what did they call it? Food, fitness, and what?
Food, fitness, and a wide variety of activities.
Yeah, I went for the fitness.
Yeah.
I
think anyone over the age of 25 who goes to that should be in jail.
Do you know what? I had,
Jesus.
They were at a shower, and I had Trey yesterday, and I threatened to go there with him.
Well, you could.
Because he covered me.
Right.
I'm not a
You
creep if
would
he
have been
covered
covered.
me. Yes.
Como Park's
What is wrong with you?
Well, it's a lot of
It's a
young
creep
people
factor.
on parade. You know, it's
Okay.
no, an old person
got the
shouldn't go there like a
grandson-
lecherous old fart.
If you got the grandson and they come up to you and they say something, you say, well,
His mother would have loved
his mother
this.
would have loved this
Yeah.
today.
Kenny, I'm with you on this. I don't understand Joe's logic here, but I'll just let it go.
I'm with you. If I'm walking around Grand Old Days, by myself, I'm a creeper.
Yeah.
Well, then you shouldn't go anywhere in summer, basically, is what
You
you're
shouldn't
saying.
be allowed out of the house if that's what you, because you are what you think.
Never mind,
You're the
moron.
creeper.
All I want to do is have fun.
The Como Park Zoo
I think
opened.
Joe made a good point last Friday, though.
What?
You should send us all an email, Jim Geraci style, when McLaren actually has Baby Trey.
That's
Yeah.
true. I'm going to start doing that for the Garage Logic crew anyway. Hey, I got Trey again this weekend.
He's in the
No,
office.
I don't have Trey today. I don't have Trey. I'll be in for the podcast.
I can work today.
Yes, I'll be in for the podcast.
The Como Park Zoo opened one of its exhibits early Sunday to give visitors enough time to come see the rare corpse flower, Horace, in full bloom.
Freddie the gardener used to love this.
Yeah, he brought one to the studio
Yes.
once. It was the worst smelling thing I've ever smelled in my life.
On Saturday, the Como Park Zoo had to close early because there was a bomb threat, forcing visitors and staff to evacuate before closing
Bomb
time.
a zoo.
After reopening following the threat, more than 4,300 visitors came to see Horace in bloom on Sunday, according to the Como Park Zoo and Conservatory reports. If you're not familiar with the corpse flower, it apparently smells like rotting meat.
You know, you bring back some memories. You say that's the worst smell you ever smelled at the old Maplewood studio. Mine was after I was filling in for Peter right after Bob's Radio Basics after Kenny came out after a night binge, and that wasn't too good either.
Hey, what is the point of the corpse flower smelling like that? To protect itself? What, Gabe?
Stave off predators.
It attracts? What does it attract? You have a microphone, son.
Flies.
I'm pretty sure it's to attract things that will pollinate.
I'll be damned.
Like a dog is attracted to stink, or a raccoon attracted to stink.
I'll be
I
darned.
like
Bugs
skunk.
that are also.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, because she'll put up an odor, I'll tell you that much.
It now appears Elliot Engen, Minnesota House Representative, is
Get
not
down there
running.
and give it a good whiff, will you?
Not going to do it. I know what you're doing, Souchere. I'm not doing it.
Now appears Elliot Engen, Minnesota House Rep, is not running for anything.
See the
Last-
boozer?
Yeah, last fall he had announced his campaign for state auditor. Remember that, saying he would expand the office and increase accountability. However, he failed to meet the deadline we found out last week to formally run for that position. Now, Engen is no longer apparently filing to seek re-election for his seat in the House either. He did not file for that. You'll remember back in April, he faced an ethics committee hearing after he was arrested and charged with DWI following being pulled over in the early morning hours of March 27th for speeding, expired registration, and a broken headlight. A police report related to the arrest shows Engen initially denied drinking, but later admitted to consuming two 12-ounce Coors Lights. He ultimately underwent sobriety tests and failed, registering a .13 blood alcohol content. A police report also shows Rep. Walter Hudson in the vehicle with Engen. Engen said he was sober cabbing them home. Both Republicans had been photographed drinking at a bar shortly after leaving during the middle of an education committee hearing. Why don't we take a quick break here and hear from the mayor, Mr. Souchere.
I've told you before, the worst thing I've seen is guys who try to make their own humidor.
Yes.
Ding,
It usually involves stealing some Tupperware from the kitchen, then putting a wet napkin in there and hoping the
Ding,
cigars
ding.
get a Boveda. Boveda humidors, man, are they cool looking? They're wood, chrome hinges. The things are really handsome. You could put it on your workbench. I keep it in the garage.
Mm-hmm.
It's just fantastic. And here's the best part of a Boveda humidor. You don't do anything. You don't monitor it. You don't have to worry about distilled water, sponges, beads, gauges. You put one Boveda humid pack in there, and 6 months later you replace it with another pack. That's it. In the meantime, the cigars are perfect. There's no guessing. There's just no guessing. The cigars remain perfect. And this is really important if you don't want to have to think about it. Cigars are great, but you don't want to babysit them. You don't want to have to take care of them. Let Boveda Humidor do that. It's an affordable luxury. It'd be great for Father's Day. Well, it's great for anybody who has cigars and you're tired of those home contraptions that don't work worth a damn. It's the traditional look, modern precision, but again, the best part, no maintenance. Just let the cigars sit in there and you're perfect every time. Boveda, Boveda, Boveda Humidor, one word, bovedahumidor.com.
So I'll be here.
Jesus, God almighty.
This guy wears many hats, just not indoors. Joe Souchere.
Let's talk about North American Banking Company, who has been investing in your success since 1998. That's right, because back then, they wanted to create a better banking experience for everybody. And that means for you, for your family, and also for all of you small business owners out there. They want that better banking experience. And you know what? You get that feeling anytime that you walk into any one of their 6 Twin Cities locations, whether it's Roseville, 50th in France, Woodbury, Hastings, Shoreview, and also in Maple Grove. They offer you the same updated online and mobile banking tools as all of those other big national banks. Whether you're looking to buy a home, perhaps finance a new home renovation project, or get that new car that you've been dreaming about, their experts make it so easy and also convenient. But you got to see it for yourself. Check them out online today. It's nabankco.com to learn more. It's banking done differently. North American Banking Company, member FDIC, is an equal housing lender.
Thank you, Chris. Story we just saw here during the break, and it's a long story, so I'm gonna edit on the run if nobody cares.
I wish you would.
The Star Tribune, remember last week we told you they're making cuts, 15% through a round of layoffs and buyouts. They also said at the time that they are exploring, the Star Tribune said this, a nonprofit ownership structure. Well, Alpha News reporting that in the last several weeks, Alpha News engaged in talks with the ownership of the Star Tribune related to Alpha News' possible purchase of the paper, including the negotiation of a non-disclosure agreement. But during those negotiations, the Star Tribune's lawyers indicated that ownership would be moving in another direction, so apparently turning down Alpha News approaching them for any part of a purchase of the newspaper.
I don't know who's behind Alpha News. Are there some money people that we don't know about? Because they can't afford to buy this paper unless they got some real big hitters I'm unaware of.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you include the Liz Collin tweet, John? I forgive me.
I do
was
not have
listening
a Liz Collin tweet. No.
25 minutes ago, Liz Collin said, quote, this kind of says similar to what John just mentioned. In fact, for several weeks, lawyers from the nonprofit Alpha News engaged in talks with the ownership of the Star Tribune, including the negotiation of a non-disclosure agreement. So I have no idea what that would mean. But there you go. That's from Liz Collin's Twitter account. Yeah.
Okay, I did read that paragraph.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yep, all good, all good.
In national and international news, Israel said it bombed a Hezbollah site on the southern outskirts of the Lebanese capital in Beirut on Sunday after the Iran-backed group attacked northern Israel. Within hours, Iran retaliated, firing ballistic missiles at northern Israel, the Israeli military said. In the first such attack since a ceasefire paused the U.S.-Israeli war with Iran 2 months ago. The escalation laid a setback to the Trump administration's efforts to broker a truce in Lebanon. Mohammad Baghir Ghalibaf, the Iranian parliament speaker and chief negotiator in talks to end the war with the U.S., said Israel's attack on Sunday on the southern suburbs of Beirut, known as Dahia, had turned U.S. and Israeli bases and assets in the region into legitimate targets. Israel hit at least 2 apartment buildings in Dahia yesterday. The neighborhood on the southern edge of Beirut has long been dominated by Hezbollah and is mostly populated by its Shiite Muslim base. President Trump was briefed on the latest development. It was not immediately clear whether the Iranian missile attack caused damage in Israel. The president criticized Israel's strikes on Beirut, saying he was not happy about it, according to Fox News.
Saturday was D-Day.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Yogi Berra was a machine gunner on Omaha Beach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries yesterday agreed to increase production, that would be OPEC, of course, by nearly 200,000 barrels per day, but it may not do much good. Ordinarily, OPEC increasing oil production among the group of nations that compromise it with lower costs, but experts have called this move largely symbolic because of the ongoing war in Iran. A controversial oil and gas lease sale in the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge didn't draw much interest from oil companies. One bid was drawn from an independent Anchorage-based natural gas producer, along with a smattering of other bids from a state economic development agency. In all, only 5 of the 58 tracts on offer received bids. The sale was held under requirements of the sweeping tax and budget bill passed by Congress last year, the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. The law mandates at least 4 ANWR lease sales through 2035. It was the third lease sale since 2021. In the first of those sales, held in the last days of the first Trump administration, no major oil companies bid. And in the last days of 2025, the Biden administration, there were no bids. It looks like 6 leases were acquired in 2021, but the agency says they have not done any exploration work on any of those leases.
Can you imagine if the Democratic Socialists continue to make inroads and they get their demands met, there will be no more mention of D-Day.
Wow.
It will be gone. It will
Fade
just
away.
disappear from history. And it's only because those fellows paved the way to Berlin that these young failed academy graduates are even here and able to
play Europe,
exercise what they're ever exercising.
I wonder if that's not happening already with the advent of social studies taking precedent over history.
Yep. It's just a crying shame.
It really is.
What role do what day? I mean, I'm not trying to make a joke here, but what role did the day of the week play into this, though?
Like it was all about weather. That's the only thing that mattered with D-Day.
Okay.
Was the tides and
No,
the
You mean why it was
I
a
think
June
he means
6th?
celebration.
No, meaning it was on a weekend. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't really, you know what I'm saying? Because it was on a weekend. Did that
on a weekend all the time.
I know, but did that play some role in the fact that it didn't get as much media attention, to answer your question?
Oh, is that what you're going
That I
Yeah,
don't know.
sorry.
That I don't know.
Okay.
I saw a lot of media attention,
See, and
which I enjoyed.
I did too, John. That's why I asked that question.
Meet the press interview with the president yesterday.
Okay. Well, go ahead, John. Go ahead.
Next story.
No.
Angrily stormed out when confronted over unfounded claims of election fraud. The president ended up storming out of the interview after calling host Kristen Welker stupid and Meet the Press crooked. The interview was taped Friday in Wisconsin, was interrupted several times by thunderstorms moving through the area. The interview turned contentious when the president couldn't supply evidence when talking about January 6th and elections in 2020. He also blamed the FBI and James Comey for January 6th. He blamed the FBI and what he called dirty cops for the rioting and said he would still like a fund to be set up for rioters from that day. But as a later extensive fact check on the NBC News website on the whole interview showed, Comey hadn't been director of the FBI for almost 4 years at that point, since 2017, when Trump fired him. Welker said during the broadcast, though, that she had spoken to the president on Saturday, one day after the interview was held, and he agreed, she said, the rain had caused complications, and he said he would do another interview with her in the future.
Did you happen to see it, anyone?
Yeah, I watched it.
And if you watch that, and if you think he's a functioning human being, you have derangement syndrome. He is not a functioning human soul. He is something we don't understand or have never experienced. It was pathetic. He is pathetic, and it was horrible to watch, just horrible.
Earthquake, offshore magnitude 7.8. That's a pretty good rumbler there.
Yes, it is. Our own geologist Stacy weighed in with that. Yeah, it's a real shaker.
Hit the southern Philippines, killing at least 32 people, injuring more than 200. And most of those people were killed and injured in ruined buildings, and it sent a 3-foot tsunami into nearby coasts. Several mostly low-rise buildings collapsed or sustained heavy damages in the hard-hit city of General Santos. Tsunami damage was reported in at least one southern coastal village. Smaller waves were measured in Indonesia and as far away as the southern Japan area. The Pacific Tsunami Warning Center said the threat of a tsunami largely passed about 5 hours after the quake hit. Filipino officials also lifted a tsunami warning by mid-afternoon. I got really confused by the whole time frame of this. I had to look up where they're at in terms of where we're at time-wise.
Well, I think they're a day ahead.
They're 13 hours ahead of us.
Yeah.
So that made sense after that. I'm a little slow.
Or wait, maybe they would be behind.
No, they were ahead.
They're ahead,
because when I checked,
the timeline.
It was early Tuesday morning when I checked already.
Oh, boy.
In the Philippines. Sure. So I was confused.
Yeah, they got a lot of islands there.
Price of new cars. Out of control.
What do you got?
According to Edmunds, though, there are 5 they call them least expensive cars. I don't know that I consider this least expensive, but the cheapest, the Hyundai Venue. It's a subcompact SUV. It starts, this is bare bones now, at $22,650. Chevrolet Trax is second. The Trax is a 5-seat subcompact SUV, $23,495. The Kia K4. Kia's least expensive small car. It comes as a sedan or as a hatchback, $23,535. All of these are bare bones with no bells and whistles. The Nissan Sentra, $23,845, and the Hyundai Elantra, $23,870. Your least expensive cars for 2026.
What was the first one?
It was a Hyundai, Rook. It was a Hyundai Venue.
That's the one you can fold up and put in your back pocket, right? Okay.
We need a new Yugo. We need a Yugo.
A Yugo.
A Yugo.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Speaking of money, Common Wisdom in Retirement Planning says you should aim to save 10 times your annual salary or reach a magic number well past $1 million in savings to retire in comfort.
Oh, that's it, huh?
How we doing, everybody? But research on actual retirees suggests that those savings targets might be way too high, at least for most people. Typical retiree has only $126,000 in household savings. That according to a 2025 retirement survey by the Transamerica Center for Retirement Studies. In April, a Gallup poll, 82% of retirees said they have enough money to live in comfort even though they don't meet those requirements. In the 2025 Federal Survey of Household Economics and Decision-Making, 83% of over 60-year-old Americans said they were either living comfortably and doing okay financially, even though those that were polled didn't meet those requirements that are always spoken of. The point of all this is apparently you can retire with less than $1 million. Most Americans do, according to this. And as surveys repeatedly suggest, most of them seem to be doing okay.
Well, that's fantastic news. What's the percentage who said they're doing well in retirement?
73 or 83?
Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah, 83% of over 60 Americans said they were either living comfortably, doing okay financially, and those were people, like I said, who did not meet the $1 million or the 10 times.
It's like Joe has always told me, it's not how long, it's how much you earn.
No, it's not how much you save. It's how long you save something.
And earn a lot.
No, it's not how much you save. It's how long you save something. Because there's a miracle, Matt. I'm not sure you're aware of it. Yeah. It's a miracle called compound interest.
Kenny, you look
Good one,
angry.
Joe. Good one.
Did that story anger you, Kenny?
I'm so angry right now.
I'm very sorry. I'm sorry I brought it up. I didn't mean
Actually,
to anger you.
John,
I'm
I
so
know
sick
you.
of you people. Oh my God.
John, I know you well
sick of
enough.
you people.
I know you well enough. You're not sorry you brought up that story. In
I'm
fact,
really not.
I'm
but
pretty sure you did that on purpose.
See, now it gave me hope. With Kenny, it
Of
made him
course.
depressed because I don't have any of that, and I thought, well, great, I can make it just fine.
I think everyone will be just fine, unless the DSA takes over.
Oddly
Almost,
enough, on the contrary, Joe says I don't understand compound interest. I do. The IRS keeps compounding the interest I owe them on top of the other. So I, in a weird way, I do understand that.
That's hysterical.
Oh, now Kenny's mad. I'm sorry,
That hits a
Kenny.
little too hard.
funny.
Hang on.
I don't know what he's angry about.
You should feel good about that
Just life
story.
in general.
There's great hope for you.
You don't
Kenny.
need to retire with a bunch of money.
You don't need anything.
Don't worry.
That's-
Wasn't going to happen in the first place.
Thank you, John.
I feel good just knowing I'm going to work till I'm 90. So
Yeah.
Well, apparently I am.
Same.
Hey, we'll get you in here.
We got you. Oh, yeah.
wheel him in.
No, he ain't wheeling me in.
Well, we have to, like with baby Trey, we have to assign a different day for Joe.
Yes.
So, for instance, you get Monday,
He's
I'll
not
have
feeling
Tuesday.
We'll bring him in here. I got to pick up Such. We got to be there by noon.
You know, you got a lot of things taken care of. You got the new truck at
It's just
Rosedale.
nonstop.
You got the installed building solutions. You got the new floor. How's the garage door? If you need a new door, Precision Garage Door has models of doors for every budget. And it's more than a door. You get the new value of your home, and you can save energy and provide better security. A designer comes out, you go through the program, bing, bang, boom. And right now you get $400 trade-in credit for your old garage door when you purchase a new garage door. If your door's fine, you like it, but you don't like the way she sounds, book a $79 safe and sound package with Precision Door. Let the team there throw some diagnostics at it and tell you how you're going to do going into the future. You can book online at Precision Door MN, one word, precisiondoormn.com, or call Precision Door at 612-263-6985 to schedule a new on-site new door estimate or book a Precision Door safe and sound package.
Flashlight, check. Tool belt, check. Attitude, check. He's going in. Joe Souchere.
If you're you're going into a vacation mode, then you need to make sure all of your I's are dotted, your T's are crossed. And that is all the way down to your pet. Rover needs a place to stay, whether you're taking off for the weekend or a week, whatever the case may be. And American Boarding Kennel, their team has got you covered. They don't just take care of dogs, it's their passion. They're recommended by veterinarians. They have an off-the-charts caregiver to pet ratio in the industry, as a matter of fact. And if you're new to boarding and don't really know what to do, American Boarding Kennel offers a complimentary day visit. You can get your dog comfortable before the stay. Call them ahead of time at 952-894-5100. Book online at AmericanBoardingKennel.com. They're convenient to the Twin Cities metro area. They're located in Burnsville on Highway 13 east of 35W. Again, generation after generation, American Boarding Kennel wants your pet to be pleased. American Boarding Kennel. Don't forget about that doggy now, where caring for your dog is an honor.
Hail the fireworks commissioner and his fellow pyromaniacs.
Hail you!
My wife Julie and Maria from Escape With Us Vacations put together a nice trip for a whole family and their spouses to Ireland. While the gang decided to go and make out with the Blarney Stone, I chose to stay back here preaching the gospel of Garage Logic.
Wow.
There is a huge following for Garage Logic at the foot of the Blarney Castle.
What?
When I explained the notion of a podcast of a fake mayor in a fake county in a fake town, people roll their eyes and suggest that I go take the cork soaking class in Cork, which is 8 miles away. Apparently there is an art to soaking corks, and it's not as easy as it looks. I have no idea that a cork was
I
soaked.
think that's just a way for them to say, go take a hike.
Update. Just met a couple who have a cabin at the Dam Road, on the Dam Road, south of Aiken. Small world. They'd never heard of GL either. Good day, Steve and Julie. And he sent the photo of himself in front of the Blarney Castle with his
Sure.
GL hat on.
Oh.
GL hat on.
I think maybe he needs to do a better approach than just start talking about fake mayor and fake town.
Well, he's wearing the hat and he's doing the Lord's work trying to, we're number one in Japan.
I didn't know.
We were for a couple of days.
will,
Weren't we,
I knew
Gabe?
that.
Weren't we number one in Japan?
It was almost 12,000 listeners consistently in Japan.
In
so
Japan.
Not number one.
In
but-
Japan.
Do you know what I learned about Anguilla, where
We're
we
number,
were number
one.
one?
We're number one.
Richard Schulz from Best Buy
Yeah.
owns a golf club down there.
He does?
So that might be part of the reason that maybe we are number one.
Well, I'll be damned.
Yes, he does.
Really? I've got flag updates, too. 2 new flag updates.
My flag was flying for D-Day.
So was mine. I'm proud to advise that my hometown and county, Martin County, still flies the real Minnesota flag as cited in my recent trip to Fairmont. I did not see the city flying any flag at or near their buildings. Good luck, Dan Banks. Here's that one, Gabe, in case we don't have Martin County up there. And Derek writes, last week I traveled through the Northwest and noted a few additional cities flying the true flag. Erskine at a memorial at U.S. Highway 2 and U.S. 59. New Folden at the Veterans Memorial. Lake Bronson at the Veterans Memorial. And Crookston, Polk County Government Center. And the hometown of Neil Broughton, Dustin Bufflin, and the birthplace of Polaris, Rosso, is flying the true flag at both the county courthouse and the high school. I think Rosso might already be on the crawl. I'm not sure. Only because they come to us all the way from the traveling linemen who leave tomorrow
Yeah.
to start a whole new adventure. It's only because they come to us. It's on this day.
Joe, today is June 8th.
In 1848, the U.S. government moved a group of Ho-Chunk, Winnebago people, from their reservation in Iowa to one in present-day Minnesota on land that had been purchased from the Ojibwe. Along the way, the Ho-Chunk tried to buy land from the Dakota, but were prevented from doing so by Captain Seth Eastman of Fort Snelling, who enforced the terms of their treaty. Didn't we just have paintings by him we were raving about? Mm-hmm. The move was completed on June 30. On this day,
Joe, today is June 8th.
Well, on this day in 1854, former President Millard Fillmore visited St. Paul as part of the grand excursion celebrating the completion of the Rock Island Railroad from Chicago to Rock Island, Illinois. The group had journeyed up the Mississippi River by steamboat. Although not a Minnesota railroad, the rail connection between the river and Chicago provided a boost to Minnesota's economy.
How'd they arrive?
Steamboat.
Yes.
On this day,
June 8th.
in 1880, the flour of the Washburn Crosby Company won a gold medal at an exhibition in Cincinnati, launching the gold medal brand. Washburn Crosby eventually became General Mills. On this day,
June 8th.
in 1896, the body of the petrified man was found in Bloomer in Marshall County. Believed to be, by some, to be a voyager, he was actually made of plaster. So that was a prank?
Yeah.
I thought we really found the petrified man.
Like the runestone.
On this day,
June 8th.
in 1910, cartoonist C.C. Beck, who drew Captain Marvel, was born in Zumbrota.
Huh.
On this day,
Joe, today is June 8th.
in 1927, popular artist Leroy Neiman, known for his wildly colored sports scenes, was born in St. Paul. On this day in sports disappointment history,
Joe, today is
Is Leroy
June
still
8th.
with us?
I don't think so. Well, I hate to prematurely put him under. Sports disappointment history.
June 8th.
1983, the North Stars drafted Brian Lawton. That's it.
You know who they drafted
That
him
wasn't
over?
necessarily a disappointment.
Yeah, yes, it was.
Why?
You know who they drafted over?
Who? I don't
You
know.
and Patrick. You're the host of North Star Confidential.
Yeah, that never really had very many meaningful things in it.
Who did we draft? Who did you just say we drafted?
Hold
Mario Lemieux?
No, hold on.
Nah, he was. That's
Who did
too
we get?
far back?
Well, God.
Brian Lawton was
Lawton
drafted.
was number one.
Well, for the North Stars, I don't know if they had the number one pick.
Yeah, I think they did. Didn't they?
It's not important, Chris, because
Well, that was Bellows.
All right.
Bellows was
Brian
number
Lawton was number one. The Hartford Whalers drafted Sylvian Turgeron,
well,
Pat LaFontaine, Steve Yzerman, Tom Barrasso, John McLean, and Russ Contrail were all drafted after Brian
I might
Lawton.
have taken Eiserman
Okay, that's the reason why it's
Before,
a disappointment.
before Lawton. I think Lawton has become a successful agent in his.
His wife has an extremely successful digital media
So you guys
company.
knew all of this and you couldn't look up who the heck they
Well, Sophia was Angelina Lawton's assistant for about 3 years.
I'll be damned.
Yeah.
See you tomorrow,
Okay,
Kenny.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
knew that was coming. Hey, do us a favor if you have not done so already and hit the subscribe button on the Garage Logic YouTube channel where you can watch the show each and every single day starting at around noon, and you can also see full segments. There's video shorts, there's behind the scenes footage. Just search Garage Logic, that's 2 words, on YouTube, along with all of our social media channels. That includes Facebook, Instagram, and X, and also sign up for that daily Logician email. It comes right to your inbox every single day, and it includes the most recent episode of the podcast. Find out more and sign up today online at garagelogic.com.
Kenny really gone?